it's International Women's Day, I'll start again. And so I wanted to get together a little panel of really inspirational and successful female entrepreneurs who are just like complete boss babes in the industry. And I know that you've all had your own struggles, but you've got really inspirational stories and you're all really successful in your own right. So going back to Rachel first, Rachel is co-founder of The Skinny Kitchen. I don't know if you girls have heard of it, but I just want to live in The Skinny Kitchen. Also co-founder of Vape and Juice, and now she's working on her own business, which is the first business she's founded herself, and it's a sustainable women's brand called Our Remedy. Rachel, can you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the brand that you're working on right now?
Yeah, of course. Should I start with Our Remedy then?
Yes, please.
So yeah, I'm Rachel. I'm the founder of Our Remedy. So we're all about providing a natural solution for period problems, like really, really bad sleeping and also anxiety. So I founded Our Remedy because personally myself, I was going through quite a lot of health issues and all related to being a woman and periods and ovaries, and I just found CBD so helpful to manage like the anxiety that I was experiencing. So I found out I wasn't going to conceive naturally at a very young age, and that obviously was a really difficult time. I went through IVF, again a difficult time, and eventually I went through a borderline ovarian cancer situation where it resulted in a hysterectomy, and I was only 30. So I mean, I went through some really awful stuff in like 5 years, and CBD was just so helpful to manage all, like, I just don't sleep when I feel anxious. I just cannot get to sleep. I cannot stay asleep, and I wake up early. So I think if you have a bad night's sleep, you just feel rubbish the next day, you eat worse food. So CBD was just amazing, and it really was a game changer for me during this time. And I started, so obviously you mentioned I was in the vape industry as well. So I knew a little bit about CBD, and I spoke to other women going through the similar situations to me, and they said they use CBD. So I thought, well, I'll give it a try. So I started using it, and honestly, like within a month, I was sleeping through the night. Like everything was just so much better. And I think if you get a good night's sleep, it can just change your outlook the whole of the next day. So I thought, well, I'm going to continue doing this, but no CBD looked particularly nice. Like it wasn't like, oh, I want to keep this out next to my my kettle in the morning so you remember to take it, because it just wasn't branded for women or people with periods. It just wasn't attractive. And also, I don't know if you've tried CBD, but it doesn't taste very nice. It's quite hempy and earthy sort of flavour. So I've come up with a few unique blends. So my first one was with clary sage. So this is obviously an amazing essential oil for women. So it's actually proven that it can help reduce muscle spasms when you have a period. So can really lessen your period pains. And then mixing that with the CBD, it's just started something really. So I just wanted to share what I'd found and fill a gap in the market that I felt like just no one was doing it. So that was a year ago, and it's going pretty well actually.
Excellent. And so from a business point of view, you obviously already had a lot of experience. But would you say to women who are sat at home now, perhaps in lockdown, or their mums like you are, is it possible, if you've got no business experience, to launch something like this on your own and turn it into a successful business?
I think yes is the answer, definitely. I do think it is. I think you just have to accept that what you see on Instagram and the things you look at, they didn't happen overnight. They are a result of so many mistakes and so many failures. And like obviously over the years, I've done so many things wrong. And if you don't learn from them, that's where the real mistake is. Like it's a really good thing to try things and fail and learn. And the business that I've started in the past year is obviously the result, like you say, of gaining a lot of experience, starting businesses, and then being able to start one. So I think you can't be scared of doing anything wrong. You just have to try. And one of the things I did with Our Remedy, which I think looking back is a really good tip. So I started an Instagram account before I launched the product, as if I had launched it. And I mean, not to be like deceitful or anything, but just to see what the interest was. And we make all the CBD ourselves. So we were able to make really low quantities. I didn't have to produce thousands and thousands of bottles. So it was a really good way to test the market. So I'm a graphic designer, that's my background, which is probably another reason I'm quite good at starting businesses. So I can just brand everything myself. So I come up with the brand, design the packaging, I got it printed, and I put it on Instagram. And I probably had like 300 followers at the time, but I had 300 followers that I could ask questions to at any point, and they were really engaged in it. So I think it's a really good free way to test if your idea is going to work.
Absolutely. So get your branding right and know your market before you launch, right? Perfect. Okay. Moving on to you girls, Lauren and Katie, because Lauren, I know you're from a modeling background. I can see why. Wow. Oh my wow.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
Even though you're stunning and beautiful, you weren't happy when you were modeling.
No, not at all, actually. It's kind of the opposite of being an entrepreneur. You're just expected to show up and smile and not really have an opinion on anything, which was actually really heartbreaking for me. And also, it was like really weird to be a part of something where like what you did, you know, behind the scenes, what you were working on, you know, what made you so special was not really important to the clients. You know, they kind of just like would look at you quickly, you know, decide right then and there if you're the right look, and that was it. And for me, it was like, you know, a long time before I really realized that this was a big part of what was killing my soul and just led to all sorts of really unhealthy, you know, eating patterns and not really taking care of myself in the right way. And it really took me a long time to figure out like this wasn't, you know, the right industry for me. Mind you, there was some great things about it. I got to travel around the world, live in many different countries, you know, in terms of my social skills, like I got to, you know, be in different rooms with, you know, 20 new people at a time and, you know, get to learn, you know, what they're all about. And, you know, so there was a lot of good things that came out of modeling that you can't actually learn in school. But in terms of like, you know, being an entrepreneur, I think, you know, one of the most important things that you need to sort of figure out is what it is that you're truly passionate about. And, you know, if you're, you know, not passionate about, you know, the thing that you're like, for example, you know, I discovered the infrared sauna, realized early on how passionate I was about it. It changed my skin. I slept through the night. I felt like $1,000,000. And I just knew that this was the thing that I needed to bring to the masses. So it was like then and there when I figured this out, that's when I really started to learn who I was and really truly find my true happiness and passion. So very different backgrounds, going from being a model who was just expected to show up and smile to an entrepreneur who's really about bringing their passion to the world.
Okay, and you and Katie founded this together, correct?
Correct.
So how did you girls get together? Did you already know one another? How did this all happen?
Yeah, it's actually kind of a funny story. So I also studied nutrition, health and wellness, and I was actually working at a health and wellness startup at the time. And my job was the brand ambassador program and product development. So that's actually where I truly discovered the infrared sauna, was from this amazing doctor that told me about it. And when I, you know, discovered the infrared sauna and found out how amazing it was for me and knew this is what I wanted to do, I knew I needed a business partner because I saw what the founder of the startup I was working at went through in order to, you know, raise money, put together models. There's so much more than, you know, just finding something that you're passionate about and being really knowledgeable in the space and building brands. You actually have to know how to build out, you know, business models. You need to, if you want to raise money and that's, you know, the direction you need to go into, it's really good to have like some sort of, you know, background in business or in finance. And, you know, I knew I needed that business partner that felt truly passionate about the infrared sauna as much as I did, but also had all the skills that I didn't have that I really wanted to learn. So I was introduced to Katie. She was actually meeting with another friend of mine, potentially about, you know, working on his startup. And I kind of crashed the meeting and told her all about the infrared sauna, that she needed to try it. And we became business partners on the spot. But I'll kind of throw it to Katie because she has a very, you know, interesting background that's very complementary to my health, wellness, modeling, fitness, hosting background.
Perfect. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Danny. Well, as you see, Lauren's very convincing. So she did win me over to be her business partner very quickly. And yeah, we, like Lauren said, we have very different complementary backgrounds. I actually started my career in investment banking and the consumer retail team at Merrill Lynch. And I did some work in venture capital. I was one of the first employees at Tough Mudder, which was like a big obstacle course event. And by the time I left that startup, I knew I wanted to start my own wellness company. And I met Lauren and fell in love with the infrared sauna. So the timing was perfect, and the rest is history.
And what year did you girls launch?
Well, we launched our first location in 2016.
Yeah, 'cause you got the
so
spas, right? And then the sauna blanket came later.
Right, exactly. So yeah, about 5 years ago, we started our first location, and then about a year or two after that, we started selling our sauna blankets.
Okay, and your sauna blankets, are you selling them globally now?
Yeah, we are selling all throughout the US, Canada, and the UK and Europe. So not quite globally, but we're starting to.
We're working on it.
So Lauren, was it like a fast track business course for you from modeling to becoming a female entrepreneur?
Yeah, definitely. I think I was always an entrepreneur at heart. I, got to do things like train with Navy SEALs, and I was like really into like learning extreme sports, and I was really into challenging myself. And it's all about like dedication and hard work, and pursuing what you're truly passionate about and just keep going for it. So I feel like deep down inside, that was like always the burning desire that I was like looking to, express. So.
And you girls are clearly a match made in heaven. I mean, Katie, you've got that fitness background as well with Tough Mudder, and obviously 10 trillion brain cells, more than the average person. So I think something to take away from you girls is that it can be really powerful and reinforcing to have the right business partner. So you can go it alone, like Rachel or Carly, who we'll get onto in a second. But also it can work really, really great if you have the right business partner. And I think that two women always work better than having a guy on board, obviously.
Totally. Totally. What we have to say though, like, our relationship has been something that we've been working on for years. It's one of the most important relationships in my life, but there was definitely hard times. We definitely gotten many arguments over things, and there was times when we weren't making money. It was really hard. And, Katie is like coming from such a strong background, and, I had many offers to do other things too as well. So it was like really challenging when you don't make money for like the first few years and you're just giving everything you possibly have to make this work, and working on that relationship with your co-founder is one of the most important things you could do. It's like a marriage,
So did you ever think, oh, sod this, I'm just going to go back to modeling, I can't deal with this?
Well, the good thing is that, I started doing TV hosting before I actually, started getting into startups and getting into the wellness industry. So yeah, of course, I was like offered, a broadcasting role at Fox Sports, which was like, I went and interviewed there, and just like Fox is not anything I wanted to be a part of. And I was like tired of talking about other people doing cool stuff. I wanted to tell my own story. So yes, I knew I always could fall back on that, but definitely would be pretty heartbreaking if I had to.
So you're glad you didn't?
I mean, and some, like being an entrepreneur and, being a part of a health and wellness startup that actually helps heal people and make people feel better. There's nothing more gratifying than that.
Absolutely. Okay, last but definitely not least is a girl that I've known personally for probably 15 years now, maybe longer. Wow,
a long
old.
time.
Carly, welcome. Now, I remember when you started Glutewear, and I remember sitting in my flat in Leigh-on-Sea, actually, Rachel, and talking about scrunch butt leggings. And now you have a successful global female fitness wear brand. And a big part of your brand is supporting and inspiring other women, which I just absolutely love. And I know you've been through so many personal trials and tribulations as well. So tell us how you came from sitting there with that idea to literally on your own, turning this into such a successful and famous sportswear brand. Because I know you had no prior business experience when you started.
No, definitely not. I probably wish I had, but I hadn't. Everything's trial and error. But obviously I come from bodybuilding background, and I'm an IFBB pro, so I competed professionally for a number of years. And through like my fitness journey, I never could find any training gear that either fitted on my legs and was tight on the waist. They were either see-through, they weren't durable enough. The fabric wasn't the right fabric for my body. The way it formed on my body, it didn't make me feel confident when I was training. A lot of the stuff, obviously with a female, you're training and you know, if you're training your glutes, you want your glutes to look good. Whereas some of the leggings were so compressed that they kind of flattened everything, and that wasn't the idea. So I think from when I've had my bodybuilding background, that's really complemented me bringing out products, for one, because I know how a body forms. I know what a woman needs. I know how certain fabrics, the way they make you feel, the way like clothing falls on the body. And with training and everything, like if you feel good with yourself, you're going to train harder. Whereas at the time, I was buying products here and there, and I used to tie like a jump around my waist when I was doing a Romanian, because everything was on show, and it didn't make me feel, it made me self-conscious. So then I initially started buying products from abroad, just because they catered more for the fitness woman. And then I kind of had this idea as, I really, really want to bring out products, blah, blah, blah. And it came to 2017 when I retired from competing. I'd started getting a lot of samples and everything, but I didn't believe, I didn't fully believe in myself. I believed that I could, but there was that little thing at the back of the mind that I was like, oh, I don't know, what if people won't like it? What if people won't like it as much as me? And that kind of, that scared but excited kind of feeling at the same time. And then funny enough, when I actually launched Glutewear was when I'd gone through a relationship breakdown. I'd retired from competing. So I was kind of lost as a person, because for over 10 years, I was, I had this, tag as Carly the fitness model, Carly the competitor, the athlete, and I wasn't any of that anymore. So I felt like I had to rebuild myself. And then at the same time, I lost my job. So all of these three things, I just went, sod it. And that's how I launched it, being probably in one of my darkest places at the time. And then I launched Glutewear, which is, and I kind of got products out to some of the fitness girls, like you, Danny. I got you to try something. I said, what do you think of these? And you were like, babes are amazing, didn't you? Yeah. But yeah, and I just,
that concept to the reality.
Yeah.
Of actually placing that first order, so getting the financial backing, or indeed funding it yourself, getting those samples, and then getting it to market. As someone who had never been in business before, was that quite daunting? Did you approach people for tips or for investment?
No, nothing. I mean, it didn't. I didn't have any financial backing for it. No investment or anything. It was I ordered some products. I ordered four different coloured leggings at the time, and it was a passion of mine. I wanted women to feel good, feel confident, and I didn't want them to feel like I did. So I sent a lot of the products to different fitness ladies that I knew, and just said, look, try these out, let me know your feedback, etc. And they loved them, which was obviously amazing. But it wasn't, I would say, for the first kind of six months, something like that, I was working in the garage, prepping all the orders. I was doing the photo shoots by videoing with my iPhone and then screenshotting. That's how it all started in the garage. And then I was annoying Royal Mail by going in the post office and with this black bin bag of orders and doing it myself, first of all. And then kind of 6 months came down the line, and this passion of mine, automatically, I sat there and I was like, I think I've got a business here. I think I've got something. It took that kind of stage of just thinking it's like a bit of fun and whatever, and then kind of progressing from there. And that's when I brought on a fulfillment company, a warehouse, and then I got on my marketing team. Now I've got customer services, I've got the social media team. So I'm slowly building up my network of women, even though I haven't got obviously like a partner. We've got three women of us together who share ideas and everything. So it's super cool.
So something that I've learned from all four of you girls is that there's been like a personal passion here and like a personal need for the products that you've created, right? So I'm definitely not feminist at all, by the way, but it kind of seems as if a guy couldn't have actually started any of these businesses because they're all very, very female orientated and made you feel better, made you look better, made you sleep better, made you train better. And so that personal need for that product is what has taken it to market, basically. Is that correct, Rachel? You're nodding.
Yeah, I think if you're going to bring out a product or start a business, you should definitely make sure it's genuinely something you would want to buy. Because if you don't have that passion behind it and you wouldn't personally use it or want it, we're going to really struggle to sell that, firstly, but also work on it day and night. But if it's something you truly, truly believe in and you think that you want to spread the word, I want to spread the word about our remedy because I really think it's a game changer for a lot of women. And I think if you've got that, you've really on something.
Yeah.
Because
Also, like what Victoria said about, like not earning money straight away. I think when you're passionate about something, you take it that bit further because you want something to work. It's something that you really love, and things take time. Whereas if someone's into they want to bring out a business purely for the money, they won't work when it gets hard because they're not making the money straight away. So I think that's a very important thing to like highlight, that if you're not passionate about it, then it probably won't work as well, because you're not going to wake up when you're thinking, oh, I'm still not earning anything, because you still go, because that fire's there, that drive's there.
yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And Laura and Katie, I want to ask you, because I'm not a business person myself, I'm a magazine editor, but I do understand this concept of, you need to have a problem and then solve a problem and give people a solution. Like Carly said, with squat-proof comfortable leggings, or Rachel with the whole kind of sleeping better and everything else. With the sauna blanket and the spas, that kind of seems or feels a little bit different to me, because it's not really like you're solving a problem. It's kind of giving people a luxury, right?
It's a little bit of both. Like Katie said, we launched with spas first, and we had 11 locations, and we really tested out the need for infrared and getting, our clients' reactions, and everyone would come out saying, I love it. I'm addicted. It's a game changer. I'm obsessed. So we really knew that, people needed infrared in their life based on what it did for everyone. And the problem was the fact that we could only open so many locations and only reach so many people. Because as you know, like a location business is very different than a direct to consumer product business. So, that's where the sauna blanket really came in, was the fact that, not everyone had access to an infrared sauna. Not everyone could afford it. It's like a 700-pound machine that's very expensive, that's hard to clean, nor do most people have the space. So we took something that was, that we felt very passionate about, but we needed it to make it more accessible, which is why we turned it into the infrared sauna blanket. And we took the same technology that's in our saunas and put it into the blanket. So we just innovated it. And I think that's actually like a really key thing is, there's a lot of like great products on the market, but you can also think of like ways to start your business by making that product just a little bit better. And, maybe combining a few products into one. That's like, really innovative ways to like launch new products that aren't necessarily out there in the market that you really want to see without being an inventor yourself. Like Katie and I come from, backgrounds where we're, very passionate about the wellness space, but we're not doctors, we're not scientists at the end of the day. But what we really did is just took a very great technology and made it more, easy for people to have access to it. And that's when we really saw the business take off.
Okay, so question for all you girls, because you've all got your own brands and you all sell physical products. If anyone listening or I have an idea and I want to get a prototype made, I want to brand it up, but I don't know where to start. I mean, obviously the sauna blanket is it's quite an intricate product. You have to get it right. Rachel, you were saying at the start with Our Remedy, it was all about branding. You're a designer. So you already had an idea what you're doing. And but Carly, again, you wanted to make something that looked great, that was comfortable, that made you feel good in the gym. How would you recommend, any of you girls, that if someone's got an idea in their head, they turn that into a reality and they go about getting that first prototype made?
Very good question, actually. So I can just kind of jump in with my 2 cents. We were really lucky, Katie and I, when we launched the spas, we took on a really strategic partner, which was Clearlight, which is the #1 infrared sauna company that's been around for over 30 plus years. And they've already been creating saunas in the market. So for us personally, we built a really good relationship with Clearlight, but we went under their wing and they helped advise us on good places to go, on where we could take this prototype and make it come to life. So for us, it was, having really great advisors and people in the space that are experts, and kind of picking their brain and, asking for introductions in the right areas, because, they're the experts.
So don't be afraid to reach out to other experts in the field. And
I honestly think it's all about your network and your community, and don't be afraid to ask many questions and reach out and pick people's brains and ask for intros, and that's how you build something out of nothing.
And would you agree with that, Rachel, Carly?
I think for me, it was very different with Our Remedy, because I feel like I was already in the area of expertise. So because I had the background with vape and juice, and we have an accredited clean room at our headquarters there, we totally have the ability to make CBD. So I was in a position where I was able to make something. And because we've made e-juice before and vape juice in the past, I knew it was something we were able to do. It was just like testing recipes and coming up with the right thing. So I was inventing it myself. Trying to think how I'd do this if you've got an idea. I guess you would just reach out for a supplier, white label, wholesale, a drop shipping, anything like that. Also being a graphic designer, it just puts you in such a good position. I didn't study graphic design to be a businesswoman, but it really helps. Surprisingly, it really helps, because I can just knock up some packaging very, very easily. I've got an idea in my head and I can just put it on the computer. It probably is going to take me a few days. I've obviously got very good connections with printers who I'll go to, and they'll give me a good price, because I guess they're hoping that I'll order more. And again, it comes down to background. So I don't know where I'd start if I didn't have that. I'm very, very thankful for it.
Well, I can give you my 2 cents, because I haven't got a clue where to start. So I didn't have any background. I know Victoria.
Design driven, isn't it?
Yeah, but I didn't have any contacts that would have helped me. I built my contacts throughout the years of them building that reputation, but initially no one would help me because people don't want to give you the inside scoop and all that kind of thing. But when you actually build up certain different contacts, then it's fine. So for me, I just used Google, and I started from there. Googling different suppliers, getting different samples from different locations. And I mean, it did take, samples cost a lot of money. They're not cheap at all. And so, but you have to invest in things like that. And then after time, you will, you can get, the reputable people, but you have to do a lot of trial and error until you get the right product for you. So I mean, it does take a lot of groundwork and a lot of personal investment as well at the same time. But I would just say that if you haven't got a clue, that's absolutely fine, because we all start in different positions.
Sat at home who perhaps doesn't have a lot of money, for a stay-at-home mum, for example, who's not working at the moment, would you girls say that it is possible on a shoestring budget to launch a business from the ground up and make that business successful? Or would you recommend that that person first reaches out for investment?
No, I think trucks. Sorry. I think you can start a business on a shoestring budget. I've only ever started a business on a shoestring budget. For example, vape and juice. I guess this is where it all started. So I wouldn't be in the position I am now, where I can sit here and say we knew what we were doing if it wasn't for this. So I guess my starting point was here. We opened our first shop on just £5,000, and we grew from 1 to 30 stores in 5 years. So it totally can be done, and we never did anything on a lot of money. We made money and kept putting it back in. And as long as you can invest your time is money, but as long as you can invest your time, I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, Katie, would you agree with that? You're nodding.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think it's actually good to, even if you do plan to raise money at some point, start off bootstrapping and show that you can be cash flow positive and profitable on a small scale, even if it's just tens of thousands of dollars. If you can still show some kind of traction or profit, then that's going to actually help you raise a bigger amount of money. So I would always say start off on a shoestring no matter what.
And coming from like a financial background yourself, would you recommend a specific kind of software or program that people can use if they don't have a clue how to even track cash flow, profit and loss, stuff like that,
Work out a deal with a good accountant that's going to give you all that you need for a little bit of money. You can't do everything yourself. And that's something that you can definitely outsource. And there's a lot of people that can help you with that.
Fantastic. Girls, we've not got so much time left. So I just want to run through you all and get a summary of your businesses now, where people can buy your products, where they can see them, etc., and your plans for the future. So Rachel, back to you.
So I'm Rachel, and it's been Our Remedy, which our Instagram is It's Our Remedy, and our website is ourremedy.co.uk. And we are a natural solution for period problems, bad sleep, and anxiety. And I think my plans really are just to dominate the CBD for women's space within the UK.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So we're gonna, if you can send us some pictures of your products, because we'd love to show the branding that you've done yourself as well. We're going to reach out to you on Instagram so we can share that with everyone. Thank you so much, Rachel. Lauren, Katie?
I guess I can start. So my name is Lauren, even it says Victoria Doucette. I signed into the wrong Zoom meeting, just to correct that there. And I'm one of the co-founders, co-CEOs at Higher Dose. You can follow us at Higher Dose on Instagram, or our website is higherdose.com. And we're here to bring at-home spa products to your house that ultimately make you look and feel your best. You can expect infrared sauna blankets, infrared PEMF mats. We're launching red light infrared face masks, and all sorts of complimentary products to up your dose.
Wow, sounds amazing. How much is the sauna blanket, girls?
Go ahead, Katie.
Yeah, it's $4.99 US and $3.99 pounds.
That's really, really reasonable, isn't it? You wouldn't think that you could get something at home for that. That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
About how much money you would spend going to a spa yourself. Spas can be really expensive to go there to get a certain way of like feeling afterwards, and you get that in the sauna blanket with one session. You can use it over and over and over again. We suggest anywhere between like 3 to 4 times a week. So it's like literally like not as expensive as it might seem up front for the benefits that you're going to be able to see with it.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. I want to try one myself. Yeah. Thank you, girls. Thank you. And Carly?
So it's Glutiwear, and that's Instagram Glutiwear, and it's glutiwear.com. And I own, I already bloody introduced myself. Sorry about that. So it's a female active and lifestyle brand. For moving forward, we're looking into jeans and more of an active lifestyle range. So we're just kind of coming at the gym. So we cater for every single woman, from activity to everyday lifestyle. Plans for the future, again, it's to grow the company, bring out a men's range that we're working on at the minute. And also I'm just in talks now about getting a warehouse in Dubai, and launching Gluty Wear in Dubai. Obviously it'll be a sister company with the, you know, the Dubai domain and everything. So yeah, that's the mission.
How exciting. You girls have inspired me so much. I want to get up tomorrow and launch some amazing multi-million-pound business. Thank you so much, girls. We're going to share this on socials in about 20 minutes time. So we'll be sure to tag you all and upload it to the Muscle and Health podcast as well. And it would be great to work with you all individually as well, to help collaborate with your brands and reach an even wider audience for you. You have been so fantastic. Thank you so much. And I know that so many people are going to be inspired, men and women, from listening to you and pick up your tips as well. So thank you so much to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll catch you all later. Thanks, girls.
Later. Thank you.
Bye.